Good morning, 172nd. Glad to be with you all for a few minutes. The chaplains are sending out videos to encourage everybody while we're social distancing. And the word of encouragement that I have for you today is to be radically gracious to yourself during this time. I know that's counterintuitive because we often hear we just need to work harder or be better or do more, but I want to share just a quick story with you about a guy who I got to know while I was on my deployment. And he was really struggling with addiction, but he was super gracious to everybody else, all his friends. People loved to come and share their wounds with him and talk to him because he was always so gracious and loving and understanding. But his problem was he didn't have the same grace towards himself. He would beat the hell out of himself and just get in his own head and in his own heart, and was just so hard on himself. But he was doing some counseling, and his counselor said, look, even if you look at porn, that was his struggle, the addiction he was struggling with, said even if you look at porn every day for the rest of your deployment, I want you to be radically gracious to yourself. And those words really stuck with him. He finally understood that that's how God loved him, that God was radically gracious with him. And an amazing thing happened. For the rest of his deployment, for the next almost 6 months, he was fine. And so my encouragement to you today is to be radically gracious to yourself and to everyone around you. It's a freaking pandemic, for God's sake. And the last thing, maybe you could become a wounded healer. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before, but Henry Nouwen wrote a book with that title called The Wounded Healer. And listen to what he said in it. Nobody escapes being wounded. We all are wounded people, whether physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. The main question is not how can we hide our wounds so we don't have to be embarrassed, but how can we put our woundedness in the service of others? When our wounds cease to be a source of shame and become a source of healing, we have become wounded healers. And you hear that message of radical graciousness to yourself in there. If our wounds cease to be a source of shame, then they can actually become a source of healing for others. And so maybe during all this, that could become part of your story. Please let me know if you want to talk, if you need any kind of counseling or help or support during this time. We'd love to be there to help you, and can't wait to see you again. Peace.